Up until now, we've been dealing with basically one-step equations, which meant that we were dealing with one operation, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Now we want to go and work on two-step equations, but an example of the one-step equation would we have x divided by negative 8 equals negative 4. And to solve for x, we would do the opposite operation of the division, since that's what we're dividing x by, which means we now multiply by negative 8. And that gives us that x is equal to 32. Okay, one-step operation. So, one operation. Now we want to go to two-step operations because, one-step operations don't happen for us very often. So we can do some examples here. We could have the equation of 2m plus 8 equals 32. And one thing that we want to do is get rid of the operations furthest away from the variable first. So the first thing here is the negative 8. So we want to subtract 8 from both sides of the equation. Okay, and that gives us 2m equals 24. And now we want to divide by 2. Since we're multiplying by 2, we want to divide by 2. And that gives us 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we have 1m equals 12. Okay. Another example would be that we have w over 4 plus 6 equals 9. Again, the operation furthest away is usually this addition or subtraction. In this case, it's addition. So we want to subtract, do the opposite, subtract 6 from both sides. Leaves us with w divided by 4 equals 3. And now since we're dividing by 4, now we want to multiply by 4. And so I have w equals 12, right? If I'm dividing by 4 and I multiply by 4, I get 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Let's look at another one, which would be, say, 5 minus x equals 7. And you might say, well, that looks like a one-step operation, but really it's two, because what's happening is, because I have a negative x there, I'm going to say that's a negative 1x. There's a negative 1 sitting there. You don't write the 1. Okay, so we have a positive 5. I need to subtract 5. So now I have negative x equals 2. So to change the x to positive, I need to multiply by negative 1. So I multiply both sides by negative 1. Negative 1 times negative x is a positive x. And that gives me negative 2. Okay, so it was actually a two-step operation there. Another possibility that we're going to run into is we might have to combine like terms first. So if we have, say, b minus 3b plus 8 equals 18. I want to combine the like terms on the same side of the equation first. So in this case, I have b minus 3b. So that's minus 2b. And then we have plus 8 equals 18. And now we can do what we just did before, where we subtract 8 from both sides. So that leaves me with negative 2b equals 10. We now divide by negative 2. And that gives me b equals -5. Let's just look at one more kind of like that. We have, say, 4 minus 9c plus 3c equals 58. So I combine the like terms. So that leaves me with 4 minus 6c equals 58. Now I can subtract 4 from both sides, since that's a positive 4. So we subtract 4. We have negative 6c equals 54. And now we divide both sides by -6, since we are multiplying by that. And that leaves me with c equals -9. Okay, so that should be enough to get us going on problems, and I will see you in class.